Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jazz and I have a very exciting May bullet journal setup video for you today. But first, let's take a flip through my April pages. These were my favorite pages of April, the habit and mood trackers. Something about the colors just looked so good on those two pages. And I really liked making all the little umbrella drawings. I had a lot of fun trying to mix them up so they didn't all look exactly the same. I tried a couple of new layouts for my weeklies this month. The first one being that Dutch door spread. And from here on out, you're going to see a lot of the TheCoffeeMonsterzCo stickers and washi tape because I got my first order from that shop and I am obsessed with them, so I put them pretty much everywhere. But the washi is so cute. There's the self-care washi, and I put it on the top of this spread here. I did try a new layout for this week and I liked it so much that I used it for the next week as well. It's called a rolling weekly and I got the idea from Plant-Based Bride here on YouTube. I'll link her video on it down below. It's really interesting. Mine is kind of a modified version of her version, but by folding that page in half, you're able to see your task list no matter what day you're on, which is really cool. But it worked really well on those days when I was also tracking what I was doing hour by hour at work and still needed a to-do section. Now we get into May's theme. I'm really excited about this one. I decided to do the theme of the TV show Friends. I absolutely love Friends. I know there are people out there that don't. I don't understand you. But I've watched every episode at least 4 times over. I just could binge watch it all day. It's like my happy place. I found this really funny meme that said they took Friends off of Netflix on January 1st, and since then it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year. And it really feels like that. 2020 has been crazy. So I just thought it would be a fun theme to do, kind of based off of that quote. And there's so many elements that I can incorporate from the show into each spread, so I'm really excited about it. Also, the TheCoffeeMonsterzCo sticker shop that I mentioned earlier, they just came out with some Friends stickers, which I did order, and they're on their way to me. They didn't make it in time for me to get this video up for you, but I plan on using those in the weeks to come with the spread, so I'm excited to be able to use those too. I stuck with this larger calendar for this month, same way I did April. It seemed to work fine last month, so I just kept it the same. Still left a spot in the upper right hand corner for my goals for the month, and then that right hand side is where I'm going to list the numbers of the month, and that's where I write down anything important for the month. And I use the calendar for work-related deadlines. Up at the top, I'm drawing the couch from the coffee shop at Friends. It's also in the intro when the theme song plays in the park. And next to it is the lamp that is also in that intro. It's like a stained glass lamp. And I'm just writing May in that Friends font across the whole couch there. For all the coloring and all of these spreads I do, I'm just using my Crayola Supertips markers. I have a 50 pack. I got it for like $8 at Target. And I just made sure I swatched all the colors on a page beforehand so I knew which ones were going to be the best fit, because sometimes they don't look quite like the outside of the packaging, and they're not named, so make sure you swatch first. For all the drawing, I used my Sakura Pigma Microns in several different sizes. I used the skinnier sizes for the detailing in like the lamp and the back of the couch. And again, just using the Crayola Supertips to color things in. And then for all the lettering on this page, I used my Tombow Fudenosuke hard-tipped pen. Actually, I think I used the soft tip for the letters of May, but everything else was the hard tip. And I just kept with that F.R.I.E.N.D.S theme font. I really wanted to incorporate the dots. So in the F.R.I.E.N.D.S theme or the F.R.I.E.N.D.S logo, there's dots in between each letter of the word, and they are red, blue, and yellow dots. So I wanted to incorporate those three colors a lot throughout these spreads, and also just the dot theme in general, like in between letters or words or days of the week. So to number my calendar, I used those three colors and just drew little circles in the upper left-hand corner to write the number then on top of those circles. And then I also added those colored dots in between the letters in May and goals up in the corner. Across the bottom, I put that quote, "When it hasn't been your day, your week, your month, or even your year." And that completes my calendar for May. This next spread, I decided to do, yet again, something different for my trackers. A couple months ago, I did Doodle a Day, where I just drew a small doodle with a little like phrase next to it that kind of showed an overview of what I had done that day. This month I wanted to try a mood lettering spread, so I'm going to end up filling these two pages with words that correspond with my mood each day, and it gives me a chance to practice my calligraphy and lettering styles each day with a new word, and it'll be really cool to look back on this spread once it's all filled out with a bunch of different words. So the title here, I just wrote mood lettering, but I based it off of the Central Perk logo, which is the coffee shop in Friends. I heavily referenced the Central Perk picture the entire time I did this. Obviously, lettering has a lot of letters in it, so it's a little smushed in there, but I could have made it bigger, but I really wanted to give myself space to write letters because I plan on using my Tombow dual brush pens for all the actual words that I'll fill the page with, and those are pretty thick pens, and my handwriting tends to get kind of large when I use those. So I did originally have this logo drawn out a lot bigger, but I ended up redoing it a little smaller just to give myself some more space on the pages. But I think it came out really cute. I'm not doing a habit tracker for my monthly setup for this month. I'm going to end up doing weekly habit trackers. That's something I've been really wanting to test out. So yeah, I ended up not doing a habit page here. But my next page, I'm doing gratitude. This is something I really have been enjoying having, especially with, you know, the pandemic and being on lockdown. It's nice to kind of force yourself to remember something good about each day. So again, I just use that same font across the top with the little colored dots, and I set this up a lot like my April gratitude, where I split the page in half and then gave myself 2 lines per day. And these dots that I'm drawing are just to write the numbers of the day in, so they're separated out that way. Last time I kind of colored in the background of each section, so this one is a little more minimal in comparison, but I think it fit well with the overall theme. I actually did use a ruler this month. I've been anti-ruler, but I don't know. I felt like I couldn't disappoint with this theme. I didn't want to let the friends down, so I did pull out a ruler, which is really just an old bookmark I have, but it does the job. And it does look really nice with the straight lines. This next page is my brain dump page, and I drew the picture frame that is on the peephole of the girl's apartment. This was kind of difficult to draw. I think it kind of came out a little wonky, but the picture frame itself is a little wonky, so that's totally okay. But definitely an iconic Friends memorabilia. Apparently you can also buy these to put on your own peepholes. Then I just used my straight edge to make the inner part of the frame nice and crisp, and wrote brain dump across the top in that same lettering. And even though the frame is a little messed up, it still ended up being one of my favorite pages. Just very visually pleasing, the giant frame. I do find that I use the brain dump page every single month. It's just a nice spot that doesn't have a specified use, so it's really nice to have that without having to flip to a new page anytime something random pops in my head that I want to jot down. And there's that spread. And that's actually my last monthly page. So I did go ahead and set up my first week here as well for you. This one turned out pretty cool, I gotta say. Came out a lot better than I expected it to. I had trouble figuring out a format because I knew I wanted a space for a weekly habit area and I needed a task area, so that was like 9 sections, which is hard to evenly space across the page and make it make sense. So I ended up having this extra section and I didn't know what to do with it, so I just made it decorative. And I actually drew in the scene of the girls' kitchen in the girls' apartment. I've never done anything like this before, not in my bullet journal, not really in life since I haven't been in an art class in 10 years. But it was really actually fun, and I think it turned out okay. It's obviously not perfect, but for my eyes, it's totally fun, and it's just like a little peek into the girls' apartment, which I think will be fun to look at all week long, and I'm excited for what I can make for future weekly spreads. I might not do something this illustrative every week, but just finding little tidbits from the show that stand out to me, I think is going to be really fun to keep incorporating things. For the days and the date numbers, I drew little cups of coffee and wrote the number in each one of those, and then I just continued with that same font everywhere else. The right side is tasks for just a running task list throughout the week. And then I made one of the squares my habit tracker, where I am tracking the same habits as last month: vitamins, water, flossing, yoga, and journaling. And then I just wrote week 19 up at the top, and I'll be there for you down at the bottom. And I apologize if you see my camera on its weird little stand coming in and out of here. It's because I was also making a TikTok of this. So that's what that purple thing is. But here I go with my illustration. I'm gonna go ahead and speed through most of this, but just know it did take a while, and I did use my straight edge for a whole lot of it, but I did have a lot of fun coloring it in, and I did make one big mistake with this line that just shouldn't be there, and I just kind of left it and drew around it, and I think it looks okay. You can't really tell, so I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. also just want to say that it's always good to push yourself outside of your comfort zone, especially when it comes to art. And what better place to do that than in your bullet journal? It's just for you. It's okay if you mess up. If you hate it, you're only looking at it for a week or a day, depending on how you set up your bullet journal. And if you hate it so much, you can always just glue those 2 pages together and start over. Change it up every week. That's the beauty of the bullet journal itself. So if you feel inclined to draw a kitchen scene on your weekly setup, by all means, go for it. A lot of people do a lot of watercoloring in their bullet journals. I have not yet experimented with that medium, but maybe someday I will. But yeah, I just wanted to encourage you to go outside your comfort zone a little bit if you're feeling so inclined. And don't beat yourself up about it too bad. It is just a page in a notebook. And here is the final flip through of my May setup with my Friends theme. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it's really fun. There's a lot of bright colors. There's definitely a lot of Friends references, and I'm excited to be filling these pages out for the rest of the month and to keep incorporating more Friends things. Maybe I'll bring you guys along for the journey weekly this time. I'm not sure. I still haven't gotten that down pat, but if you want to see me do some more bullet journal stuff, you can always follow my TikTok. It is at justjazz6. I will link all of my social handles in the description box below. And thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.